Welcome guys. In this video we're going to talk about general equations, specifically linear general equations. So let's start with problem number 1. Problem number 1 says that 66 equals 6 plus 5x. What this parenthesis is telling us is that we need to distribute the 6 over the sum. So the way to do this is by doing like this. 6 times 6 equals 36 plus 6 times 5x equals 30x. Then we subtract negative 36 minus 36. So this cancels. So what left is 66 minus 36. That would be 30 equals, all this left on the right side is 30x, so we'll divide by 30. This cancels. Whatever we do to one side, we do it to the other, so we have to divide by 30 here. 30 over 30, that's equal to 1. So we're left with x on the right side, so we have x equals 1. That's our first answer, x equals 1. Let's go to our next example. Problem number 2. Problem number 2 says that negative 32 minus 24x equals 34 minus 2x. So let's move the 2x to the other side first, plus 2x. So we have negative 32, this cancels. Negative 24 plus 2, that will be positive, that will be negative 22x equals 34. Let's move the 32 to the other side by making it positive. This cancels. Whatever we do to one side, we do it to the other. So we do 32. Then we have negative 22x equals 34 plus 32, that is 66. The final step will be to divide by negative 22. Negative 22. So x equals, this cancels. So we're left with negative 66 over 22. That will be negative 3. That's our final answer. Let's go to problem number 3. Problem number 3 says that 17 minus 2x equals 35 minus 8x. Let's do similar technique as the previous problem. Let's move the 8x to the other side by making it positive. So 17, negative 2 plus 8, that is positive 6x equals, this cancels, so we're left with 35. Now let's move the 17 to the other side so we can leave x by itself. So negative 17, that will be 6x equals 35 minus 17, that will be 18. We divide by 6, that's our final step, divide by 6. This cancels, so we're left with x equals 18 divided by 6, that will be 3. That's our final answer, x equals 3. Let's go to our next example, problem number 4. Problem number 4 says that 0 equals negative ax minus 5. So first, well, let's distribute the negative a to the sum. So that would be 0 equals negative a times x. That would be negative a x. Negative a times negative 5. That's positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. So 8 times 5 equals 40. Let's move the 8x to the other side. So by making this positive, 8x. So we have 8x on the left side, and then we have this cancel, so we have 40 on the other side. So 8x, we divide it by 8. This cancel, we divide it by 8. So x equals 40 divided by 8, that's 5. That's our final answer. Let's do our last problem. That's going to be a little difficult because we're going to have two distributions to do, one on the left side and one on the right side. So problem number 5 says that negative 2 times 8x minus 4 equals 1 minus x. You see, we have two distributions to do, one on the left side and one on the right side. So let's do the left side first. Negative 2 times 8x, that would be negative 16x. Negative 2 times negative 4, negative times a negative is a positive, so we have positive 2 times 4 is 8 equals 8 times 1, that's 8. 8 times negative x, that's negative 8x. Let's move the 8x to the other side. 8x, this cancels. Negative 16x plus 8x, that would be negative 8x plus 8 here, this 8 here, equals 8 on the right side. That's the only thing left on the right side. Then we do negative 8, this cancels. 8 minus 8 is 0. So we have negative 8x equals 0. Final step is to divide by negative 8. This cancels. We divide by negative 8. So x equals 0 over any number is 0. So the final answer is 0. Never do 0 over 0. That's not possible right now. That's 0 over 0. Never do it. So the final answer is x equals 0. So always any number divided by any 0 divided by any number is always 0. Except when you do something like this. Thank you very much. That's all we're going to look at this video.